I caught my boyfriend flirting with other women. Posted by random nickname 6. If you like these stories and want to see more, please like and subscribe. Hi all. Me, female 29, and my boyfriend, male 33, have been in a relationship for 2 years, and we live together. A few nights ago, I wanted to set the alarm on his phone because I thought he had forgotten and was going to oversleep for work. When I took his phone at the same moment, he got a message from Instagram, a heart emoji. Curiosity took over me, and I checked his messages. It turns out he was flirting with around 4 girls. Some of the messages were: "This city feels empty without you. When are we going to do a photo together? Give me your number, please." A reaction to a girl's photo in underwear: "Come back. You're a hottie, when are we going to go dancing?" Reaction to girl's story posted: "My god, those thighs. When are you leaving for a holiday? After dinner? After 6 am, no. Let's have dinner at midnight." Plus a lot of hearts and kisses. Those are messages to a few different women from his work. I confronted him today. He claims nothing ever happened, and it was just flirting. It was his moment of weakness because our relationship was rocky for some time. We are also struggling with a dead bedroom. What do I do? I can't forgive or forget this. We have a life together, live together and have 2 cats. He's begging for another chance. Please tell me your thoughts. I'm so confused and heartbroken. And now for the top comments. He has broken trust. Once trust is broken, it's broken. There is no fixing it or rebuilding. That is a lie people tell themselves to stay together after cheating has occurred. He wants other women. That should be clear enough for you that he isn't your person. He should leave or you if that's his place ASAP. There is no reason to continue being together. Also, an indication is when it goes cold in the bedroom is definitely a sign that either someone is cheating or about to. If that someone isn't you, then regardless if he says nothing happened, it did. He cheated. Leave him, tell him he's a coward and a puss instead of him being an adult and talking with you about it, or a real man and leaving them to do his dirt. He decided to have his cake and eat it too. Or maybe he was those guys that monkey branch makes sure they got one lined up before breaking up and going to the next. Be careful of people like him. Never ever talk to someone in a relationship who says it isn't working out and they will leave the person for your cause. Always remember, how you get them is how you lose them. Not saying he is one, but you're going to be dating again soon, just saying watch out for those. Also, please take time and heal after this. You may have trust issues and won't want to bail it out on the next. Just remember, always pay attention to red flags. Just cause you don't want to acknowledge them doesn't mean they aren't there. I am sure there were flags that you ignored. Good luck, and I hope you heal and find someone that will treat you like the amazing soul you are. Do you know how they say if you see one cockroach, there are likely hundreds more living in the walls that you haven't seen? Yeah, this crap is like that. You've only seen the flirtatious messages. Trust me, there is a lot more going on that you haven't seen. I speak from experience. If you want to give it a good fighting chance anyway, go to couples therapy now. Don't just try to forgive and forget. If it's this hard now, imagine how it will feel when you've been together 5 years. 10 years. Married and own a house together. Possibly have a kid. These issues will only be harder to deal with. You have only been together for 2 years, and you are getting this BS. I have been married for nearly 20 years, and trust me, and it only gets harder. If he is flirtatious now, then he will cheat. It's just a matter of time. Get out of it. And now for our next story. Ex left me for his coworker and got her pregnant within 2 months. Posted by Intelligent Metal 568. Hi, so basically, I just want to air out some stuff but also get advice on how to move forward. Trigger warning. I, female 23, was with my ex, male 27, for almost 4 years. He worked in retail, and I work as a recently graduated lawyer. I suffered a lot of loss in 2020 between losing my nephew to suicide and losing my uncle to the Rona, as well as our dog passing away. We seemed as strong as ever until around August. The week my nephew passed, When I called him crying, he snapped, told me how he always had suicidal thoughts and could kill himself any time because it was so bad. I hung up. I felt bad because everyone should be free to talk about those feelings, especially to a girlfriend, but it came across as rude and very insensitive that week of all weeks. It wasn't told softly. It was with anger and very harsh. He dumped me 3 weeks later and said the usual, "And it's not you, it's me." The next day he was out drinking with his co-workers. He started working there around April 2020, having a great time while I couldn't keep food down. Within a week, they were dating, and 2 weeks later, it was Facebook official. It felt like such a slap in the face because he obviously left me for her, if he wasn't already cheating, and she was 18, recently turned 19. He is nearly 30. I was disgusted at being replaced, and my self-esteem was at an all-time low. To add to it, everyone seems so happy for them. Now, 1 year since the breakup, he and his girlfriend announced pregnancy around 6 months ago. Everyone seemed so happy, but I was destroyed because I didn't know this guy. He hated kids, hated commitment, and is dating a young girl with who he got pregnant within 2 or 3 months. How can everything seem so good for him? I have nothing but anger towards him, and I pity the girl. Was I not good enough for commitment after 4 years? Am I just completely insane, and should I be happy for them? It's been a rough year, and I'm slowly moving on, but I need to know what I am doing wrong and how my self-esteem can be built up again. Edit. Hi all. To clarify some questions. I have no proof he cheated, i.e., I never walked in on him in bed with her. However, he, at the very least, emotionally cheated as he had worked with this girl and had her lined up to get Facebook official within 1 month, dating around 1 to 2 weeks after the breakup. I just know that it was a scummy thing to do in my opinion. 1 year since the breakup and his girlfriend is now 9 months pregnant, 3 months to get her pregnant. I only know my side, of course. We haven't spoken since the breakup. I'm sure he was unhappy, I'm sure he was looking elsewhere, but it just felt very cruel and undeserved. If he wanted to end things, he could have done it differently, i.e., not knocked up a 19-year-old. And now for the top comments. The only thing you're doing wrong is keeping up with his life. Delete him and friends that remind you of him. Nothing wrong with you, love. He is the problem. Self-care, cry, heal, laugh, surround yourself with real friends and celebrate your life. One day you will realize that he did you a favor. Go to you, Queen. I wish you all the best. Trust me, it will all end very soon, especially after the baby is born, to give it about 3 months after the baby is born. And she's going to be so tired his ass, within a year she'll kick his ass to the curb, find her someone that's more her age. And please do not message him, do not congratulate him, do not call him, do not tell him that you have some of his stuff. Stay the frack away from him even when he tried to come back to you and get a new phone with a new number. Do you have a very blessed and very lucky to have not ended up with him. If you think he won't cheat again, you are mistaken. He didn't want them with you as you were too many women for him. Just advice for the future: a man knows if he wants to marry you or not. But they don't mind stringing you for sex and being looked after. I had a coworker dumped after 10 years of dating him, saying marriage isn't for him, so let's stay dating, only to get engaged a year after with someone else. Your self-esteem can be built by changing your negative thoughts. There is nothing wrong with you. He wasn't for you. Your best days are yet to come. Keep succeeding in your career and being good to you. And now for our next story. Wife cheated my entire tour in Vietnam. Posted by Wardog720. Found out many years later, after both APs had died, that my fiancée at the time had a physical relationship with my best man and my father. My friend had manipulated her into giving him hand jobs 3 to 4 times a week the entire time I was overseas, and slept with her in our bed the first few months we were married. For my father, my fiancée would sleep at my parents' house on weekends. Mom and siblings went to church on Sundays. One morning my father came to her in my bed crying about how it had been so long since he had performed oral sex on a young girl. I now believe he had molested my younger sister too, from things I learned later, and he wanted to show her something special. Supposedly she did not have to reciprocate in any way. As I mentioned, I did not learn of these incidents until both of these men had died. Her abilities in performing oral sex on me led me to feel later that she had learned her skills from one or both of them. And that they had both groomed her into becoming a nymphomaniac since, for the next 25 years, she would frack anything, man or woman, that she could. 36DD breasts would get her any boy or girl she wanted. Next, I learned she was apparently bi also since she slept with a couple we were friends with in her first threesome. She was also sleeping with the entire closing crew in the grocery satire she worked in, including going to another store nearby that her manager ran. This was another 6, 7 men and 2 women too. Gang bangs in the store back room. I didn't know what a cuckold was, but I was one, just sloppy seconds. During this time in my life, I was suffering from PTSD and thought this was how life was supposed to be. I loved her, and she seemed to love me, so I accepted that this was my life now. And now for the top comments. From one soldier to another, I'm so sorry for what you have gone through. It's so difficult being a married service member and being gone for long deployments. I have been away from my wife sometimes for well over a year. Trust, and a strong marriage is essential in surviving a long-distance relationship. My wife cheated on me once during a deployment. Our marriage barely survived that. Always wonder if there were other times. That was 28 years ago. It took me a long time to recover. Your story is a lesson for those misguided people who choose to stay with a cheater. I hope you have gotten to a place with peace and serenity. What's your say on this? Do you have a similar story? Comment below, and don't forget to like and subscribe.